Welcome to this video series on key capabilities of the Kalido Information Engine. In this installment, we will introduce you to the Kalido Business Information Model and show how easy it is to express requirements in graphical terms that are easy to understand. The heart and soul of any Kalido solution is a business information model. This model is a conceptual model that is the common language between business and IT. To maintain this model, Kalido has a freely downloadable component we call the Business Information Modeler, or BIM for short. Instead of modeling data and their structures, BIM allows you to model the actual parts of your business and define how you view the information in business terms. There are a number of ways we could get started with BIM. For instance, we could import an existing model, but let's start simple by asking some business questions and capturing the results. You start by asking experts in the business what information they need. How do they want to view customer and product? And what are the important key performance indicators they would like to measure against those important areas? Our business experts need to understand actual sales versus projected sales for the current year by customer and product. In BIM, we'd capture that as follows. Master data is defined by right-clicking and dragging down to the right. In this manner, we might create customer master data and product master data, and master data for year. Transaction data is defined by right-clicking and dragging down to the left. In this manner, we might create actual sales and projected sales. The scope of a transaction is defined by drawing lines from the transaction data object to the master data objects. In this manner, we're going to connect actual sales to product, to customer, and to year simply by drawing a line between actual sales and the master data domain. And we'll do the same thing for projected sales, tying it to product, to customer, and to year. Based on this, we know the area of focus. We can then drill deeper into these various areas. The business may say it is important to slice customer by country and customer type and product by brand. Time is a standard structure which Kalido has ready to go out of the box. Further, actual sales are collected at day, and sales projections are done on a quarterly basis. We can now start asking questions about the business rules involved with the objects described. For instance, do we always know customer type and country? Business tells us that country is optional. We can show these business rules right on the diagram. Optional relationships are represented by dotted lines, and mandatory relationships are solid. At this point, the business also throws in a wrinkle to customer type. It is actually a variable depth entity. To define this level of detail in the model, for the first time we need to look at the right-hand pane. Let's open it now. First, we need to click on the association to country and change it from the default of mandatory to optional. How do we make the customer type be variable depth? Kalido calls this an involution, and it is supported out of the box. To represent it on the diagram, merely hold down the Control key and click drag on the customer type. Another thing we should ask the business is if they have any standard definitions for each of these objects. For instance, the definition of customer type should be classification of customer into residential and corporate types, as shown in the description for customer type. By having these definitions in one place, Kalido can make them available to every step of the process. After this process, which just took us a few minutes, we're left with the following basic but functional business information model. Why is the business information model important to Agile Data Warehouse design? It isn't technical. We talk about this being a common language between the business and IT, and it really is. I've been into Kalido customers where business users have models like this printed out on large posters in their office. This is important because business users can look at this and immediately see if there's a gap in what they need. It isn't a static document. Kalido builds and creates the physical warehouse structures and validation rules directly from the business model. Because the model and the warehouse application are directly linked, business remains involved in a highly agile process. And finally, it's free. We don't charge for the modeler, only the automation. You are welcome to get started right away by downloading it right from our site.